GM, everybody, welcome to the room. Hey, GM, look, how are you doing today?
Ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing? Whether you're in the northern hemisphere of the planet and it's a beautiful summer off the coast of Italy, or whether you're down south and you're experiencing winter, what I love about crypto is its ability to unite people universally, regardless of language, the, any sort of political observation, any sort of uh, philosophical or religious background. Crypto numbers, what this represents, why we're all here, extends beyond the average. And when you extend beyond the average, you encounter extraordinary people. You encounter anomalies. You encounter people that shape the fabric of how things work. The year is 2009, and something surfaces on the internet. Many of us weren't even around, and that's how these movements work, known as the Bitcoin white paper. And when that Bitcoin white paper, as a pebble falls into a pond and causes a ripple effect, it initiated something, a chain effect that has brought together some of the most brilliant minds in the world. And some of those brilliant minds decided to get together and create an ecosystem that was decentralized, that respected and understood deeply Satoshi's vision, but understood that it wasn't just about a Bitcoin. It was about the integration of the entire world into a system that is decentralized, that gives people autonomy, and that lets people experience freedom, sovereignty, something that quickly is becoming eradicated from the fabric of our existence. I often tell people, if you were born in slavery, right? Let's say you were in captivity for 1,000 years. You know the Romans were had taken over your lands, and you had no concept of freedom. You had no concept of freedom of speech. You had no concept of freedom of expression. You had no concept of freedom of transaction or freedom of commerce. These things are alien concepts, and that's the reality that we live in. The fact that today with Ton and Telegram, I can just take a Telegram username and completely bypass any sort of nonsensical middleman fees or policies that would disallow me to experience a fundamental right, the ability to transact, is incredible. When I look at the Paul brothers, the crew that put together this idea of Telegram, because Telegram is more than just a chat application. If you guys spend time on Telegram, it's not what it used to be many years ago. It's evolving. And with products like this, you need to be always aware, because when the owner is also the product manager, then that means that there's an emotional vested interest and that there's purpose attached to it. So when I look at these two individuals building something like this that is an antithesis to everything else that's being built out there, that has a working blockchain built on top of it, that has a working communication ecosystem, that has hundreds of millions of users, it gives me the feeling of the Wright brothers. Now, if you guys know the story of the Wright brothers, this concept of building planes and building this new way that people would operate. There was an article before, a couple years before the Wright brothers, or maybe it was a couple months or a couple years before the Wright brothers actually took off on their first flight, that said it would take 1,000,000 years for a man to fly. It was, all these people, the experts, the people that know, the experts. And these experts said you can't fly. And then they said, well, no, we can do whatever we want. So we're going to create whatever we want the world to be. So you have these individuals, these super geniuses that get together and say, well, we don't want censorship. We want the freedom of expression. We want the freedom to transact. We want the freedom to communicate. Because if you have the freedom to communicate, but you don't have the freedom to transact, you don't have freedom. Right. So you can't have one without the other. And they all are intertwined. And that's why this venture that is being pioneered by tens of thousands of people around the world, known as the open network, is exactly that. It's the open network. It's this ecosystem that's specifically designed for one intention: allowing the decentralization of communication, the decentralization of your identity, and the decentralization of transacting. And what I love is that it's not discriminating of where you're from, it's not discriminating of the language that you speak, and it's very accepting. And when people in the West look at these things, they're like, oh, well, that's a novel thing because they have PayPal and they have Cash App and they have these centralized applications that they've put their trust into, right? But most of the world doesn't operate that way. You go to Africa, you go to APAC, you go to places in the Middle East, a lot of places in South America. A lot of people aren't operating the same way that we operate in the comforts that we have in the West. So a couple months ago, over a year ago, when Ton was at at its uh, its sub $2 ecosystem, and there's about $20 million a day in daily transaction volume, and you could hear the rumors of builders, but it was still very early. I started, peeking my head towards a couple of these things that were taking place in the ecosystem, and I started buying some usernames. I was like, oh, well, I can buy usernames. Like now I can actually own something on a social media platform. Like that's pretty sick. It's not just a subscription, right? Like, no, you actually own this. Oh, wait, they actually now offer as well decentralized phone numbers so that I can verify my account and I don't have to have, a phone that it's attached to my personal identity. So now I actually have some sort of anonymity in some way, shape, or form when it comes to registering some sort of mobile device. And then I was like, oh, well, they have a VPN service, and then they have a Dex built up on top of this thing, and they have these mini apps, and they have all these crazy apps, these tap apps, and then you have all these alternative meme coin projects that are popping up, and I'm like, whoa, this is not what I was expecting when somebody told me that there was an ecosystem being built on Telegram, and it was extremely cool. And what I came to realize was, this is my third cycle in crypto, that there's a couple projects that do extremely well, there's most projects that do really bad, and there's a few projects that differentiate and determine the future of the direction of the markets. And one of them, I truly believe, is Ton. And the reason is twofold. The first is the user base. Now, if you look at Telegram, the infrastructure is built on top of that. It has hundreds of millions of users, 900 million users. If you want to be a critic and say some people have two, three accounts, doesn't really make a difference. The size, the scope, the range is massive. What other ecosystem, what other project has this already readily available attention? Very little, very few and far in between. However, it's necessary because when the bear market rolls around, and as much as we're enjoying this season, as much as people that have been in the market for many years, this is where we are today has been a massive feat to achieve. I've come to realize that Telegram and the ability to already have kind of like a fishbowl effect where you already have an ecosystem is so valuable, because when money is no longer the incentive, then most people leave platforms and they don't utilize them. But if the incentive is, hey, this is the place where people can communicate, this is the place where people can transact, this is the place where people can collaborate, this is a place where people can express themselves fully, that can be supported. And there aren't many places like that in crypto. There aren't many infrastructures like that that a project builds upon. Now, the icing on the cake isn't just the fact that we have Telegram and then we have Ton built on top of Telegram, but that we have now things being built on top of Ton. And there's some incredible things that are being built on top of Ton. We have Yes Coin here that are speaking. I was talking with some of the boys. We got Corey, one of my boys, CO at Pixelverse, another G, right? With tens of millions of users all across the world. These guys are achieving some things that are record breaking. They are understanding how to create community. So once you have the attention, right? We're talking about this fishbowl that is Telegram. Now you have to dissect that into tribes. So you have this kind of like big group of the big cluster of people, which was given to us by Telegram. Your ability to build on top of that, and now you have teams taking parts of these communities and building their own tribes, which goes back to what my thesis as to why I kind of ventured into crypto and into entrepreneurship and into the digital realm, which was in the future we would have what I like to call decentralized tribe formation. And the decentralized tribe formation is a deep yearning that we all have from the falsehood of social media to deeply connect with a community that resonates with a mission, vision, and values that we support. And there are teams building on top of that, a lot of teams. And they are all completely different. Some are for the memes, some are for the gaming, some are for the gambling, some are for uh, charity, some are for utility. The range is so vast. And that's the part of the fishbowl. You can kind of do whatever you want. And that is the beauty. So when Jack hit me up, Jack now is the co-founder of Ton Society, the company that I'm going to be collaborating closely to really address on a regular basis the innovations in the teams that are coming onto this platform, and how we can collaborate together to continue building. Because the platform's only as good as we make it, right? Let's be real. It's only as good as the builders that are in it. That's the truth. So when Jack hit me up, and I'll let Jack kind of run it for a second now, he was like, "We have an incredible opportunity here, not just to be at the early inceptions of what Ton is, because it's the early inceptions, but we also have the opportunity for key leaders, for people that are building in the ecosystem, to express themselves, to represent themselves." And the beauty of it is behind these projects, there's people, and a lot of very intelligent people that are capable. People are going to inspire you guys, that are going to be novel stories, that are founders, that throughout the weeks, they're going to be pioneering and showcasing what they've been working on for many, many months, which is going to be starting tomorrow. You guys are going to see something really, really special by the end of this session. But I want to introduce Jack for my audience, the people that aren't here, and take it away, Jack, for the next couple minutes, brother.
What's up, Luke? Thanks for the intro. Thanks for the great word and vision on Ton, what it's building, the Telegram ecosystem. I think you're spot on. Like the Wright brothers, they didn't wait for someone to tell them to go do something. They went out and did it. They disrupted. They created something new, and that changed a whole generation. Changed travel entirely, right? And I think what blockchain is seeking to do is exactly that, but it hasn't realized that yet because it hasn't reached a level of adoption where it can really be undeniable that this technology actually exists and does something valuable. That's the challenge that we're tackling at Ton. That's the massive challenge that I think the crypto industry has been trying to tackle, but they haven't yet because they've not been building where the users are. They haven't been building where people are. It's like it's literally one of the oldest kind of Web 2 adages in the book: build where users are, be where users are. And Web 3 thought, nah, fuck that. we'll go we'll go and build somewhere else, and we'll make everyone come to us. Users don't like that, especially in this day and age where you've got instant gratification. You can pop open your TikTok, get straight into entertaining yourself in seconds. The same on YouTube, the same in Twitter. Like instant gratification is what users want. It's what they expect, and it's not what blockchain is giving them. Let's be honest. So with Ton, the way we're building the ecosystem is very, very different. It's from the new users first, and not the crypto natives. The new users need to come in. They need to understand what crypto is all about. And what is it about? It's about ownership, owning something digital, understanding what that means, because it's such a ethereal, random concept. Like what do you mean ownership? So it sounds so strange, right? Um, so everyone's experienced ownership, but only when you think about it have you really experienced it. most of the people here might have some crypto. They may have understood to buy something like a Bitcoin, for instance, and they may have gone down a rabbit hole once they bought that Bitcoin to say, oh, I'm now interested in what this thing is. Now I want to learn more about it. That is the experience we need to give to every new user. They need to own a piece of crypto. That's going to push them to do the learning aspect of it. People don't want education. People don't want to be handheld. They have to be led to the water, and then they can go on from there and start to drink from the river, right? Like it's a process, and ownership is the first step to that. And what you've seen with like projects that are here, even on this space right now, Yescoin, Pixelverse, they've given ownership to users. They've given them experience of ownership. Tap on the screen, swipe your finger, play the game, and you will earn something. That gives you ownership over the project, ownership over the direction, and makes you part of the community. That's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing that millions of people have bought into and are excited to be a part of, with daily users, like levels of daily usage in both of these platforms that are kind of never before seen. Like Axie Infinity was 2.7 million total users at its peak. That's like a daily usage of Yescoin is kind of like Yescoin. Shout out. What's your daily users right now?
I think it's different case to case, but I think over 3 to 5 mil. I think we have the highest
Yeah.
DAUs out there.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So 3 to 5 million DAUs is like double what Axie Infinity was able to achieve. And this is not just the only project. Yescoin is not the only project that's doing that. So I think without a shadow of a doubt, we've proven that mass adoption is happening on Ton. And it may not be in the way that most crypto natives like. A lot of people have been grumbling. A lot of people have been saying, oh, like what are these tap games going to turn into anything? It doesn't matter. It shows that this is a channel that crypto projects can use to grow. That's the important thing. The fact that it's a game doesn't mean it has to stay a game. The project can evolve into a full-on product plan. For instance, like Bloom. Bloom is another project. They have a gaming phase, but they're obviously not going to stay a game once they launch the token and they do an airdrop, right? They're going to turn into a crypto exchange. And so they've now using this model, viral effects in Telegram, the distribution of Telegram, to grow a community of active users. First, launch the token. Second, third, launch the product, right? So this is a new game that people are playing in Telegram, a new game for builders to play around with, a new space to design in. It's a new way of thinking about Web3. And yeah, Luke, when we first got chatting, I think, like 6 months ago now, it was awesome to see how big your community is, and like some of the kind of reach you have on social platforms like TikTok and Instagram, YouTube. Like this is levels of reach that is incredible to see, right? And it's not just reach to anyone. It's reach to a group of people in your community that are so relevant to what we're trying to build in Ton. Digital entrepreneurs, people with grit, determination, people that are getting out there wanting to better themselves, and become wealthy, right? And do that through all of the means that technology will allow them to.
And you can't
Right?
do it unless you have ownership, which is the foundational part of any sort of wealth creation. You have to own what you do. And it's like we're in the
Exactly.
system where we don't own it. Like we do not own anything. So it's like you have this infrastructure, like you said, we have the user base, we have the attention, we have the medium, right? We have the medium of communication. We have now the medium of exchange. It's like it's there. Now what we need to
Yeah.
do is build really dope stuff. And what Jack and I have decided to really put together is what will be announced tomorrow in the first live stream of a series of streams where we will be putting together and showcasing to you guys the best projects being built on the Ton ecosystem. The best of the best. They're going to have the platform, they're going to have the ability to put their leaders in front of the audience, the Tawny ecosystem, and tell us what is being built. This is going to be taking place on a weekly basis for the foreseeable future because what I've come to realize is that a lot of these projects they have desires to build, they have things that they want to do, but they don't have the centralized ecosystem to communicate it clearly. There's too much fractionalization of the communities. There needs to be a central hub. So we're going to be controlling this central hub through what is known as Ton Society. So this Ton Society is going to be built out. We're going to be collaborating with a lot of the projects that you see right now like not just as speakers, but you also see them inside of the chat. We can't obviously put everybody there so that you guys, users of Ton are really able to have a direct line and a direct live stream with these projects, something that is going to be extremely valuable for the ecosystem. And obviously, I'll be spearheading this on a weekly basis for the foreseeable future, starting tomorrow with a very special team, which will be announced. And as I said, I'm going to be doing $1,000 giveaway in Ton token every single week when you tune in. And I mentioned it yesterday on a tweet that I was going to give away $1,000 in Ton. Tomorrow we're going to actually push it to tomorrow, and we're going to do it during the live stream. So if you want to participate in your ability to actually win the $1,000 in Ton, find out who our special team is, and really be able to understand what is kind of being built inside of this Ton Society ecosystem. And it's going to be something really, really cool. So we're going to start with a giveaway. I'll decide if we're going to do the first team tomorrow or next week. And we're going to really focus on sharing with you guys the vision, the mission of bringing on the best projects, giving them exposure, having them really be able to onboard not just users but missionaries, right? Missionaries of their product. And there's really, really cool innovation taking place. Victor, what do you think, brother?
Yeah, I was thinking to say that, in my opinion, people don't comprehend entirely what's happening on Ton right now because I've interviewed, majority of the major projects building in Ton ecosystem right now, such as YesCoin, Hamster Combat, Catizen, and many others. And, they've all mentioned the same thing, that one of the hardest challenges is the distribution of the game, is not the game development itself. And the Telegram is really solving this side for a lot of creators and helping to achieve tens of millions and hundreds of millions of players within a couple months. And this has been unheard before. And speaking to a lot of different folks that have been in the Web3 for quite a while, I asked them, how often have you heard not just one game, but a number amount of them coming out of the same ecosystem, having tens of millions of players? And I said, well, we never heard about even one game having 10 million players in the Web3 before. And they slowly start to wake up, but they see, all these projects on the timeline and they don't understand what's happening. They are yet to actually tap into the games themselves and try it for the first time. And I think for the industry, it is important now to have a couple more success stories of those projects launching the token and building upon their ideas. The same as Notcoin are doing right now. The transition from just a clicker game to now a multi-dimensional platform where they educate people, for example, about new projects called Notcoin Explorer. They also, figure out an interesting way to reward their users participating in those campaigns. So the projects that want to partner with them, they have to get the node coin first, then allocate that to the pool, to the reward pool, and then basically the community could participate because there won't be new node coins. They already all been launched. They already in the hands of community and the open market. So that's a very interesting approach, and I think we're going to see a lot of innovation that we can't even imagine at this point on. Because I've been speaking just a month ago, 2 months ago, about the fact of integrating, the e-commerce into the Telegram and into Ton ecosystem, and now Bound to Base doing exactly that. It's already live and available to every single user. You could go and try to explore, and they also have social features of inviting friends and getting some bonuses and referral systems. I think we yet to see the full potential of what it upholds, because everything we see right now, it gets from the simple point and then it expands in more complex products. It's the same with the gaming industry back in the days. We started with Tetris and then evolved to now having Assassin's Creed Valhalla, for example. It's not the same time frame that it happened. It took time to get to this point, to develop upon those ideas, to create ways to implement them. And I'm very happy to be here and witnessing it from the first hands, and seeing the builders such as YesCoin, Pixelverse, Hamster Combat, Catizen, and many others building is absolutely incredible. I love bringing breaking news to the timeline, guys, and I just got to keep on doing that. And I hope everyone gonna enjoy this journey and get onboarded to crypto for the first time and see what this world awaits for you.
Thank you, Victor. Guys, this is the game. This is the plan tomorrow, and for the next 4 Wednesdays at 11 a.m. EST, we're going to be getting together, and we're going to be covering some of the hottest projects in the Ton ecosystem. Some of the teams I've been talking with, multiple phone calls, getting to know them, their backgrounds, what they're about, and giving them access to the platform to really talk about the future of their plans, bringing in some people from the community to chop it up, and really be able to put some voices behind this project and behind the projects that are being built on the Ton ecosystem. So what we're going to be taking place, what's going to be taking place, and what we're going to be doing is the first giveaway inside of this live stream experience. You guys will find out more about it tomorrow when you tune in. It's a big deal. It's going to be super sick, and every single week consecutively after that, we're going to be giving the main stage to one of these teams. We're going to be chopping it up. It's going to be really good. It's going to be fun. We're going to keep it chill. We're going to keep it good vibes. But the goal is to get the alpha. The goal is to get the insider information with regards to what is taking place inside of these ecosystems. We want the information. We want to be inside of the brain of these founders, know what they're thinking. We want to be inside of an understanding of what's being built. We want to get excited. We want to really, really, really be fully integrated. Now we got a couple more projects that are going to be rolling in, and it's going to be a great time. So with that being said, I want to do something really dope. I want, since this is a breaking news, I want everybody that's going to be participating in tomorrow's giveaway to just retweet this, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's first official live stream. I'm not going to tell you guys what it's titled. I'm not going to tell you guys who's going to show up. We're just going to get started. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Start of an incredible journey inside of the Ton ecosystem. You guys are going to be seeing some of the most incredible innovation, and we're going to bring some of the most giga chads, not just from Ton, but maybe from other ecosystems, and also persuade them to see where the real innovation is taking place. All right, let's see. I want to kind of give a. Oh man, I want some of these founders to talk, but I kind of want to. No, no, no. I'm keeping you guys private. Keeping you guys private for now. You guys will have to. You guys are gonna have to come back for more. You guys are gonna have to come back for more. Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. We are going to
Let me,
do it in a process on a weekly basis. If not, I'm gonna get too excited. Jack, any last comments? Any last words before we get ready for tomorrow's first live stream?
yeah, let me jump in and just reveal the kind of the big announcement for today, which is obviously, Luke, you're here. You're here because we've been discussing working together and figuring out how we can do that. Our live streams on a weekly basis are going to be one part of our collaboration, but very happy to say that Luke is coming on to Ton Society as an advisor. He will be our first Ton voice. It's a new program we're launching for people with amazing, relevant communities, just like his community at Capital Club, and and in Telegram and across all of his socials. So Tom Voices is the program, the live stream. Guess what it's called, guys? It's called TVL, Tom Voices Live. Right, I love it. And me and Luke, Victor, and some of the best projects on Ton every single week going to be chopping it up and chatting about what's going on Ton, how these projects are launching, what kind of alpha and attention they're getting. And at the same time, Luke's going to be getting all of this good news out through his channels and through our channels. So yeah, super excited about this whole Tom Voices, Luke. How does it feel joining? And if you can talk a little bit about like what you thought about our relationship, how it developed. Why did you decide that this was the right choice for you and your community?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what I mentioned in the beginning. You have this broken down into two fractals. The first one is, as entrepreneurs, as people that are building online, you want to own the things that you build. So many times you hear, I mean, look at it, a person that can build a 500,000 follower Instagram page and then it gets deleted. Right? Like you don't own anything. So it's like you're building on quicksand. So as somebody that leads people towards building online, like this is the new gold rush. This is the opportunity. You need to be able to do it on solid foundation. You can't do it on quicksand. It's not possible. So you begin to look, where can people build? So inevitably, I just came across Ton, and it made sense. And I started just talking about it. I was just talking about it, mentioning it when I was on podcasts, and when people asked me, "Hey, like, what are you looking at in crypto?" And you just came across it, and you're like, "Yo, let's connect, let's collaborate." And what I'll
Yeah,
say is
that's
a
true.
couple. Yeah, and what I'll say is a couple things. The first one is, first, there's a phenomenal team of professionals behind the scenes, whether it's from the top of the ladder of people that are investing at a high level, whether it's the team. The experience is very vast, and the team is very lean. The team has the ability to be very cash flow positive and very ROI positive in business without having these ridiculous scenarios where you have oversized teams that aren't really performing. The team that is being built inside of Ton, and the subdivisions and the decentralization, which is kind of what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, the decentralization of Ton and Ton Voices, uh, is really something phenomenal to observe. Now, what I appreciate the most out of probably the entire thing is the fact that it's the same people that started the project of of kind of the open network. It's kind of shifted from a group of people to a decentralized operation that's happening at a global scale. It's no longer just a couple people that are super geniuses that are kind of coding this together and have a, it's kind of extended from that. So having the ability to not build on quicksand and build on a solid foundation, you have to be able to push towards that. And then the second one is, it's no longer managed and controlled by a few people. It's truly a decentralized ecosystem. So it's no longer the fact that it's centralized. Like a lot of these places, there's single points of failure. Like you have two or three people, it fails, and it's done. Look at how all these projects, bro. Like like some wallets, right, with hundreds of millions of dollars of ecosystems on some fucking MetaMask or some like, bro, this is real. Like you don't think it's real? It's real. It's real. Like the incompetence is very real. So when you find a competent team, right, few and far in between, that understand decentralization, that are actually doing it, it makes sense. And after you look at the foundation, you look under the hood, and okay, there's actually a motor in this car, and it's not just a nice mold. Like 99% of projects in crypto, there's just nice molds. You look under the hood, there's nothing, right? It's just quicksand. So the fact that we have solid foundation and we have true decentralization is what excites me. And the final aspect, because I'm a person that is really focused on marketing, distribution, and really understands attention, is like you said, you need to go to where people are. You need to go to where the user is, and you need to give the user a better experience. and crypto is the better experience. Like, it's the better experience. Now we're bringing it to people, and we're bringing it in fun, innovative ways. So be on the lookout for a lot of these teams, be on the lookout for a lot of these projects, and be on the lookout for many more voices and collaborations that are going to be taking place over the next year. It's going to be phenomenal. This is going to be a project not just out of collaboration, but really out of an intent to see the world go towards a different direction, right? And the direction is, if we're running off of WhatsApp and we're running off of Facebook Messenger and we're running off of iMessage, and I'm supposed to use Apple Pay, and then I'm contingent on that, and then I have a PayPal account, I'm contingent on that, and then I have a Wells Fargo account or a Bank of America account, and I'm contingent on their policies. Don't own anything, right? I'm just a slave to not just one guy, I'm a slave to 50 guys. And I don't want that. So that's kind of the name of the game. And that's kind of where I see it. I do want to get some people chopping it up here. Uh, Jack, tell me a couple people that might be good to get rolling on here on the start.
Yeah, let's. I see my brother Martin, my brother from another mother at StomFi.
Uh,
How's ETC is going well? I
Mate,
hear it's it's a total
I'm on the
drag.
ground, but just before I start, like Luke, a huge warm ton welcome to the ecosystem. And I've got to say, if you don't know, Jack does so much work behind the scenes. Obviously, he's been instrumental in so much of this ton success. And he's so modest, he won't admit to it. But like, we wouldn't be where we are without Jack, honestly. And it just goes to show. And I've got to say, like, huge project from the Catson to YesCoin, amazing. So I'm on the ground at ETC, like one of the biggest crypto conferences out there. It is crazy with Tom fans. I'm wearing my Tom swag. Everyone is coming up to me. How do I get on Ton? We want to get on Ton. Like, Ton is amazing. And I'm being totally serious. This is the new narrative. Luke, mate, as you were saying, it is all about this distribution. It is all about the distribution. Everyone in crypto, every single person in crypto is on Telegram. Why don't you utilize this distribution? There's so many chains coming up to me, go, look, we've got an amazing product. We have no users. How do we get users? And I'm like, there's no real hope. The fact that Ton and Telegram is just going together and it's storming, and you can only just see the way that Catson and YesCoin stuff, it just snowballs how quickly it's going. And like the likes of you coming now, Luke, will spread the word even better for this. I'm so excited. Look, I run the DEX on Ton, one of the best DEXs in my view, one of the largest DEXs in Martin's view. And we've just seen huge growth from the TVL, from the swaps to the volumes, and like more and more is coming. And I tell you what, this is just the start. And I think you're going to look at it and just see just the start. So real
Yeah, I
warm
mean,
welcome, Luke.
I've been using your platform since I think October of last year, prior to you guys even having a token.
Dude, man, I would have brought you some. I would have got you some swag. I'd have got the swag out. I would have come out to you, delivered you some swag.
You'll have to bring it out the next time, the next edition.
Mate, yeah, I'll bring it out. I'll get you some swag. I'll get you some stuff. Like, you're always welcome. Like, so glad you're using it. We're working on it, and our cross chain stuff is gonna melt faces, as they say in crypto, where you'll be able to come into Ton from other networks. This is all bringing about ease of adoption. This is the key thing: adoption and distribution. This is what Ton and Telegram. This is what we've needed in crypto from day zero, and this is what we're getting.
Yes, well
Yeah,
said.
a lot of people don't understand, or I guess we haven't really promoted it that much, but the whole vision of Ton is really meant to be a blockchain of blockchains. It's meant to be the entry point to crypto, and that's why we focus on the onboarding so much. Is we're not looking to be the custodian of all the traffic and hold it back from every other chain. We want the traffic to flow into every other chain because we want the whole industry to grow. We don't want to be the only blockchain that's benefiting from all of this growth. And so what we're building and what StomFi is doing with its cross-chain OmniSton that's coming soon, where you'll be able to trade across multiple chains simultaneously, is to build that, is to make Ton the gateway to crypto, not the biggest and the best chain, but the gateway to every chain and to the gateway to getting involved. So
And just
yeah,
just one.
Martin,
I was gonna say.
what's yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say like one last point. Okay, so because I know I'm monopolizing at the set. I have onboarded about 200 people within seconds here. I just go up, you get the Telegram, you send them some ton. Everyone's asking for ton rather than USDT. Sending someone a little bit of ton, their wallet, they're onboarded so quickly. And as soon as you see that, the penny drops and they're all saying, wow, Telegram, ton, you should be doing this, you're doing that. This is the easiest onboarding experience we have. Honestly, this is makes my life so easy, and I'm loving this. Honestly, Luke, man, like you just need to go around. We need to give you some ton just to distribute out and just do a bit of our BD work, and you'll just see the
We'll start.
cogs
We'll start
go.
tomorrow. Tomorrow's the first giveaway on the first Ton Voices live stream. So it's gonna be we'll be able to get some Ton into somebody's pocket to start running.
Amazing, mate. Mate, I've got to say, huge warm welcome. And obviously, with Jack being there, you're under the best wings in crypto, honestly, Jack. So thanks for getting all of this sorted out.
Very kind. Thank you, Martin. How about Damex? Damex is one of our frequent space runners. He runs one of the great communities on Ton Nomads. Calling that out. Damex, you want to say a few words?
Yo, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Yeah, so I want to give a big welcome, say a big welcome to Luke Belmar for coming into the Ton ecosystem. So yeah, I've been talking about Ton like for the past 2.5 years ago, and many people weren't actually talking about Ton again. Like when I came to Twitter, I was like, why aren't people talking about Ton? Like I checked YouTube, I didn't see much people talking about Ton. You get so I was not like, okay, what is going on? You get so I also few months ago, I think someone asked a question and was like, why aren't big crypto influencers talking about Ton? And Jack actually replied and it was like, it's because we are not paying them. Most of them they don't really care about mass adoption, but they just care about their wallet balance. You get so that is actually the truth. Like most times, I do usually compare Solana with Ethereum, right? Solana have spent millions on marketing, and it's mostly VC funds and stuff. You get, but Ton is like different. You get, we already have in case you don't know, actually, Telegram hasn't spent any amount of money on marketing. You get Telegram was built because users came to Telegram because of how user friendly it was. You get everyone using Telegram now was told about it by a friend, a colleague or something like that. You get so Tony was like taking that kind of approach. You get that they are building what users want, what users will be able to use, user friendly stuff, and users are coming. You get we already have you know the users. We have over 900 million monthly active users. Probably when the recent updated updated statistics that should come out, I think it should be over like this number you get. So these users are monthly active users. These are not the total users. These are just the monthly active users, which is more than the number of Web3 users in the whole world. You get so I saw this I saw this long time ago and was like, oh, this is actually going to be big, you get. And many people didn't actually understand. It's now that people are like, okay, this what this guy was saying was actually the truth, you get. They're now recognizing, when you can see the success of Notcoin, Hamster Combat, and the rest, getting so big, and because of the user experience, like there's nothing like Telegram and Ton. There is this phrase that used to be said in the past about crypto, like something like they want crypto to be easily accessible. You'll be able to send crypto as easy as sending a text message. But that's like people are saying maybe they are still expecting that's to come. But like Ton is already has that now. We already have that with Telegram. You can send. I've onboarded many of my family members, many of my contacts. Get just sending them Telegram. I mean, sending them Ton to Telegram, and they were like surprised. Wow, like crypto can be easily sent like this. You get so yeah. So Ton is actually one of the crypto I'm very bullish on. In fact, I stopped talking about every other crypto. I just like focused on Ton. Like I'm all in on Ton because I so much believe in the ecosystem. And yeah, so yeah, once again, Luke Bema, welcome to the Ton ecosystem. We're proud to have you here. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
If I could just jump in quick, just throw some numbers out there based on what you were saying around the launch of USDT on Ton. Like it's been ridiculously successful with its addition to the wallet and Telegram. It really just makes sending digital dollars free. Like it doesn't cost you anything to send a transaction. It's instant. It literally happens the moment you click send, and it's as easy as sending a text message. You just do it in DMs in Telegram. So you just need the person's contact details in your contacts in Telegram, and that's it. You send USDT, you send Toncoin, you can send Bitcoin that way, you can send Notcoin that way as well. And you know what? The industry is quickly identifying that this is one of crypto's really first truly valuable use cases. The merger of USDT on Ton and inside of the wallet in Telegram. I can say that with confidence because it's become the fastest growing supply of USDT on any blockchain. It's now at $580 million circulating USDT just 2 months after launch, and in June, I can give you the numbers. $3.9 billion was transferred across the Ton network in USDT. So if you were to extrapolate that annually without any growth, so $3.9 billion every month for the next 12 months, that would be $47 billion, which to put in perspective is more than fintech giant TransferWise, or Wise they could now call it, achieved even in its second year of operation. So it took TransferWise to reach 42 billion took them 2 years to do that. And if we continue at this level, this speed, with USDT on Ton, we could potentially reach that in less than a year. So I think it's pretty amazing. Just that one use case that's
And,
unique.
even if you just digest that use case for a second, the fact that you can tell guys, this doesn't just have like peer-to-peer viability, this has commercial viability, right? Like this has cross-border commercial viability. Okay, I want to buy this, just give me your Telegram username, I got you. USDT, 10 seconds, send $200,000. That's it, done. That's it, done. Nothing else has to happen. You want to buy an apartment? Oh well, they take USDT. Perfect. Doesn't matter where it is. Send me your Telegram username. I got you. Done. Like it doesn't get easier than that. Like what else do you want? It doesn't get easier. It doesn't get easier than a Telegram username, and then you can do whatever. So the fact that we're here is exciting, but it's just the beginning. And what's being built upon it is the same thing that I've always told people. And this is the to me the most bullish case. It all boils down to one single word. And then I'm going to break down how this word looks like in three categories and how you, whether it's as a builder or as somebody that's looking at Ton, needs to see it. The word is experience. This is something that I've been honing in on in crypto because a lot of things lack experience. But Jack was saying, we focused a lot on onboarding. The onboarding what? Experience. There's three types of experiences that you guys, whether it's founders, whether it's in general in crypto, that we're going to interact with. And it's something I'm adamant about. And I'll wrap with this comment is the value and the beauty of the experience. There's three types of experience. The first is the mass broad experience, right? The experience that we have to the broad market, people that aren't users, people that aren't necessarily involved. That's that broad audience. There's an experience to that. Telegram satisfies that experience because it has an incredible product. Next, we have what? The experience with the first layer of Ton users. That experience you would call it your customers, right? Because in some way, shape, or form, you get Ton and you operate in the ecosystem. But the Telegram users, they're kind of there, right? They're just there. They're free, right? But if you want to operate inside of the Ton ecosystem, you use some Ton. So the onboarding experience, once again, experience needs to be thought out. And then on top of that, the final experience is the teams that are building products for the people that are utilizing Ton. So Ton has figured out experience, Telegram has figured out experience, and now what we're seeing is teams building upon Ton, that mastered experience, how to build experiences and gamification for high retention and high engagement from their users. So it's something like we talked about with Victor that hasn't been really seen. Like it's not very common. It's a very special opportunity. It's a very interesting cross bridge that's been clearly planned for many, many, many years, and it's coming to fruition. And like I said before, it's a place where a lot of the most intelligent people are converging. Whether it's from distribution, whether it's from marketing, whether it's from product, whether it's from crypto, whether it's from operations, whether it's from legal, like it's very, very vast. And I've been able to see the size of the scope of the vision. And if you guys understand the vision, then you'll understand that this thing is just getting started. So it's going to be a phenomenal experience. And as we get started, the entire premise is to give an ecosystem and provide an ecosystem that allows us to really be able to uh, carry the narrative forward as to the importance of decentralization, the importance of building and owning, not on quicksand, but on some sort of stable ground, and understanding that if we have the platform of distribution that's already provided to us, the user base already provided to us, then the hardest thing has already been done, which is to kind of gather up the people. And that's what Telegram is naturally, organically doing, which is phenomenal to do. So all these people are ready to go. The question is, what are we going to do with it? So I'm building in the ecosystem. I've been investing in the ecosystem for almost a year now, and it's only getting started. Those are my thoughts for the first session. It's phenomenal to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity to not only just get involved, but really pioneer a lot of these conversations that are going to be taking place and the narratives that are going to be forming inside of this ecosystem this year. With crypto, everything's like a fruit salad. You can pick and choose whatever you want. It's kind of like a salad bar, you can pick and choose. So right now you kind of have a decision. You can't focus all of your attention everywhere. You have to focus your attention in a few selective places, and you have to put it in towards the highest return opportunity towards your goals and objectives. And if my goals and my objectives are decentralized ownership, then Ton just naturally makes sense. Not forced, naturally. And naturally is the key because people are going to naturally notice it too. So in order for adoption, we have to have feedback loops. Not only do we have to have feedback loops, but we also have to have easy onboarding adoption loops. So many of these projects and chains, they can't get users because it's really hard. It's very hard. It's very hard, but that's been figured out. So now that you have access to these users, what are you going to do with them? So I'm excited. I'm delighted, and I look forward to not only seeing you guys in a lot of these digital experiences, or you guys seeing me on the internet, but a lot of these physical experiences and a lot of these things that are going to be taking place in person. So I'll be seeing you guys. Whoever is going to Taiwan for the Asia Blockchain Summit, you'll be seeing me there do some stuff with Ton as well. So I look forward to meeting any of those people that are going to be there. It's going to be a great time. So I'll let Jack wrap it up with a little farewell, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the first official TVL live stream. We'll be giving away the first $1,000 in Ton, but you have to requote this because a lot of people that are in different time zones are not going to be able to tune in. So they need to get the memo that they have to show up tomorrow for the $1,000 giveaway. We're going to be getting kind of kick-started with everything, and it's going to be a good time. Jack, wrap it up, brother.
Yep. Thanks, Luke, and thanks everyone for tuning in. As Luke has said, so TVL Ton Voice is live, going to be our weekly live stream. We're going to kick it off for the first time tomorrow, 12 p.m. 11 a.m. EST. And every single week we'll be giving away $1,000 in TON. And we're going to gamify it as well. It's going to be super fun. So the way you're going to have to
Don't tell them
grab
yet. Don't
access.
tell them yet. Don't tell them yet. They have to show up tomorrow. Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Okay.
Don't tell them.
Okay.
You're too nice,
Oh,
Jack. Sometimes you're
I'm
too nice.
sorry.
I'm
I'm
trying to
sorry.
hold these.
You see,
I'm trying
don't
to hold
drop an
all these
alpha.
people to the fire, and Jack's just like, Jack's like, here you go.
Bro, I'm here.
Okay.
Look, if needed, I would have run the breaking news and people on the timeline would go crazy.
Oh
But
yeah,
we're gonna keep it a secret till the time arrives.
Victor's gonna tweet me right away if I say something. Yeah, so probably we'll hold off for now. But you
We'll see
have
you
to
guys.
attend the
We'll see
live
you guys
stream.
tomorrow on stream.
Yeah. And
We'll
thanks everyone
announce it
for
on stream.
joining.
Phenomenal, guys. Have a wonderful day. Right now, requote. See you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, for the first episode of Ton Voices Live. Thank you for tuning in. Look forward to building with you guys. Look forward to growing, leveling up. We're only getting started. We're only getting bigger. We're only getting started. We're only getting stronger. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. And thank you for investing the last 57 minutes into not just a conversation with us, but into what I believe to be one of the most revolutionary ecosystems that the world has ever seen. So let's build together, let's collaborate, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Chat soon.
Peace.